So, let's make some introductions for our students. Like, you know me all, but also maybe this clip I will post it on YouTube. So I'm Robert. If you are new on this channel, I make the introduction. Please don't forget to subscribe here, to give a like, and we are glad to have you here. With us is Harry, the professor, one of the teachers in GRECU Capital, and also Sir Dirk, experienced, to say so, maybe teacher or trader. How to say it, Dirk?
I think I prefer trader, because that's what I've been doing for the past 25 years.
Okay, wow. So you heard this, guys. So Dirk is doing this, for 25 years. Like, I have 27 right now. So you're doing this for 25. Okay, I don't want to look in your bank account because it's I don't want to know. I just want to know. Okay, Dirk, thank you. It's an honor to be here. Dirk is also a member of PRIMEXBT. We will talk something about this at the end, because we have a lot to experience regarding about Prime, but also to make us feel more comfortable, to say so, in the market. Dirk, please make a simple introduction. Who are you? Why you chose the capital markets? Why are you a trader?
That's
What's your age? I don't know.
that's the question I've been asking myself for 25 years every day. Why am I doing this? No, joke aside, of course. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to talk to everybody here and to have the opportunity to talk about my passion, and which is trading. And as you just heard, I've been doing this for a very long time. I started out as a classical banker who was, somewhat interested in stock markets, and I heard there's a lot of money to be earned there. So my dad said, you should go to a bank and learn there. So this is what I did. Luckily, they accepted me, and after I was done learning there, I ended up in the stock department. And I was a prop trader there, trading internet stock. So this was 1998. At the height of the internet craze, which has a lot of similarities to what we are witnessing on the cryptocurrency markets. And it was a very easy time, because you just needed to buy any stock that was somehow related to internet. Just like we saw with DeFi, for example, in cryptocurrencies in the last bull run. And So I was able to make a lot of money for the bank there, but I lost it all then again when the bear market started and the internet craze disappeared. So this is when I realized, okay, maybe there's something more to it when it comes to trading. And for me, the most fascinating part always was this big puzzle. There's this big puzzle of total chaos called the financial markets, which in many things resembled something like forecasting the weather, where a butterfly somewhere flapping its wing thousands of miles away can influence the weather that we are having here in Berlin. I'm exaggerating now, of course, but this is sometimes what I think of the financial markets. So I went on and off trading in some of my professional roles. I became specialized actually in currencies, in Forex trading, especially in Forex options. Worked there quite for a long time, also for a family office in Singapore, where we were trading Forex options. And this was also the first time I stumbled upon cryptocurrencies. So that was in 2014. I still remember that to this day. So I was always walking to my office, and there was a Bitcoin ATM. And I went by this Bitcoin ATM, and I always thought, like, this is a total scam. Who in in their right minds would buy Bitcoin. This must be a scam. And remember, this was like 2013, 2014. So joke is on me now. And I wish I would have put, a couple of hundred into this Bitcoin ATM back then. And so it took me another 3-4 years to realize the potential of cryptocurrencies. In 2019, I decided that I didn't want to trade for other people anymore. So I set off to only trade my own accounts. I primarily did this with PRIMEXBT, my own trading. And then a year later, PRIMEXBT approached me and told me, hey, you're quite successful with your own trading on our platform. Would you like to teach what you know about the financial markets to our clients to kind of make sure that they don't have to stumble all into the same traps that linger out there for everybody that starts trading? I think everybody who starts trading can relate to blowing an account, being wrong on a position, but not admitting that you are wrong. And, the red numbers become larger, and to kind of help people to not have to experience that to the fullest. So that's what I've been doing besides trading for the past 1.5 years now. And it fills me with great joy that I'm in the position that every day I get to talk about what's my passion, which is the financial markets and trading.
Have you, nice, you have a very, very good story. We can compound all these years in few minutes, obviously, but your story motivates us and gives us courage to fulfill our journey in this market, in this big and great market also. But I'm wondering, Dirk, what you have learned most in the trading years, along Forex, along the capital markets, and also when you decided to go into crypto. Okay, first time it was in crypto, it was all that have the first engage with crypto market, they all say it's a scam. But I'm wondering, what's your biggest lesson in these years? Me, the Professor Harry, and all of our students want to know, what's the most precious thing you have learned?
That's a really, really very, very good question in my opinion. I think if I have to narrow it all down, talking about trading now, it doesn't really matter what financial markets we are trading. If you are trading Forex or crypto, I think there's one lesson that connects all markets, and that is that you have to treat trading like a business. It's a lot of times nowadays, it's more treated like gambling, and I know a lot of apps out there that we use for trading, they kind of encourage that. To gamify the whole experience. You get kind of rewarded in endorphins in your brain when you do the click action. But it's really, it's business. So every time before you enter a trade, you have to ask yourself, okay, what goal do I want to reach with this trade? How far can this trade really go? What is my price target for this trade? And I also have to think of, where do I draw the line? Where do I accept that I'm wrong? And if I then see okay, my price target is for example, 2 or 3 times of where I draw the line in terms of stop loss, maybe then I found a good trade. And I always like to do the analogy where if you run a business, for example, you're selling ice cream and you think wow, this season, everybody's going to love strawberry ice cream. So you order a lot of strawberry ice cream. And well, for whatever reason, nobody wants to buy strawberry ice cream. What would you do as a business owner? Would you cut your losses, or would you order more strawberry ice cream for cheaper prices? Probably you wouldn't do that. Probably you agree with me that that would be the worst thing to do to hope to break even. But somehow when it comes to trading, this is exactly what we are doing. We enter a position, then the position runs against us, then we buy some more or sell some more depending on the direction that we are trading, in the hopes that we bring our price to a level where we can get out of that position at a break-even point, or maybe make some profit, or get away with a blue eye. So this is really the first thing that it's the hardest thing in my opinion to learn about, because it takes a lot of discipline, but this is my takeaway from 25 years. Treat trading like a business. Every decision for a trade is a new business decision.
Oh, yeah, that's very nice approach, and the answer was I don't know, maybe a little bit unexpected, but very clean answer. Thank you, Dirk. And I'm asking, like, you tell us that the discipline here is the key, or do you think here the discipline is the key? And how much years was on your side to learn this thing, that discipline here is the key? Or did you think it is the key or is not the key? I don't know.
It is the key, because trading is diametral to our human emotions and to our brain, to like, especially the raw animalistic prehistoric part of our brain we have in here, that we don't want to be wrong. You know, we like to, and if you are wrong, it's not us that was wrong, other people that were wrong, you know, and we follow them, so it's not our fault. But coming back to what you are asking, for me it was very hard to learn that, because I always thought, like, you know, because I grew up in a bull market, the internet bubble then, so I thought, like, this is so easy, I can earn a lot of money here, you know, I'm super smart. And then suddenly I had to learn I'm not really smart, you know, I was just riding the wave there, and the bear market then had to taught me, no, Dirk, you're not smart, and you have to be actually very humble about what you're experiencing here, and you have to learn. And it's a game against other people that are probably even smarter than you. And I think this is the hard part, and that took me really a long time, a couple of years, to kind of accept that I don't bind my own ego to my trading positions. You know, if a trade goes right, okay, great. Oh, I earned some money, you know. If a trade goes wrong, well, I was wrong. Okay, get over it, you know, next trade. And this is really hard, and I think I'm a bad example because of my very big ego, at least the big ego I had back then. Luckily nowadays I don't have such a big ego anymore. And you know, when you get older, you get calmer, and
wiser.
I don't know if wiser. I like to say calmer, and
okay.
But some people learn it quicker. Some people learn and take more time to learn it. I always like to say, when you start trading, and especially if you take it serious, you really very fast get to know yourself and are confronted with the bad sides of your own personality.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Thank you again. Are you consider that you are financial free right now in your position?
I do. I could stop what I'm doing right now and just go on living my life. But you know, it's a little bit like with professional athletes out there, like with professional sporting. Like look at somebody like Tiger Woods. I don't want to compare myself, of course, with Tiger Woods. Please don't get me wrong here. But they continue doing it because this is what they are good in, and this is, they want to prove something to themselves. And why should I stop something that I'm good at?
Yeah. And do you love this also?
I love that. I absolutely love it. For me, it's like, I cannot understand my friends, for example, who always tell me, oh, thanks God it's Friday, you know, I get 2 days off now, or I can start my holiday. For me, it's always like, okay, it's Friday night now. Well, lucky, okay, the cryptocurrency markets are trading over the weekend, but of course I want to spend some time with my family as well. But I cannot wait until it's morning, Monday morning again, and I get to return here to my office to, you know, to start the grind again.
So do you think also this gives you some kind of an addiction?
It is, for sure. It is an addiction. For sure, if you want to put it in a bad way. I like to say I'm in the happy position that I get to do what I like. And who can say that, you know? There's so many people, especially for trading, in trading, that strive to do that, you know, that want to get out of the treadmill of working a job they don't like from 9 to 5 or even longer, every day, Monday to Fridays, maybe sometimes on the weekends, that would probably kill to be in this position. But let's not forget, it really takes a lot of work and also luck, you know, to get into this position.
Luck. So do you think luck is an important element in this industry?
Yeah, it is not for the training position itself, but sometimes you have to meet the right people at the right time. I come from a not a poor family, like a middle family, you know. My father had a good job, my mother had a good job, we had a good life, but nothing like crazy in terms of here you have €1 million or dollar to start your own career. Nothing like this really. So everything I did, I built up for myself. And luck, I mean, here at some points during my career, I met the right people, which I was able to share, like, for example, my trading track record with. And they would say like, hey, you're doing actually very well. How about I give you some money and you keep like 30% of the profits or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. So yeah, the right people gives you the right capital.
Yeah, exactly. And I you know, it's in my opinion, it's not possible to take like something like €500 or $500. I mean, you are going to trade that one up to $1 million or 10 million or whatever. Maybe some people are able to do that. I wasn't able to do that. I'm too risk conservative to do that. Would have taken probably hundreds of years to do that. But if you meet the right people or you're connected to the right people, you can show them, hey, I'm able to actually make a good return on your investment, and I can do so by having a good risk-reward ratio. Then those people will provide you with money. And if you gain their trust, they'll provide you with more money. Until the point where you can make the choice for yourself. Okay, do I want to continue this, or am I just going to trade my own money now?
Your own money, yeah. But also it's more risky to trade your own money. But if you were able to trade others' money, maybe you were able to trade in at the end your own money. So that's a good one. Also, I'm wondering, do you think you seem to be like a very professional, and also I'm remarking this, like a very humble guy. Do you think trading along the journey humbled you?
Yeah, the markets humble you 100%, because I noticed whenever I get into this phase, you know, where like, let's say like 10 or 15 or 20 trades in a row, the market does exactly what I anticipated. You get kind of in this like God mode, where I think that, now I finally figured it out. You know, I can beat the market. You know, I'm the king of traders. You know, and this is always the moment when the market teaches you a lesson. And then suddenly you enter a phase where you have a drawdown, where you have a month or two when nothing seems to work out, and you kind of start doubting yourself, doubting your trading system, like wanting to quit and so on and so forth. But it's normal. So I think at least every trader I know that is successful and does that on a somewhat professional level is usually also a humble person. They're usually not the one that are like, you know, like sharing that they are driving around in Bugattis and Ferraris and so on and so forth.
And maybe they can afford.
Yeah, absolutely. They can afford to be humble. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. Nice. And like a last question before we enter in the macro environment, in the economy a little bit. We need your advice, your experience. Like, why do you think people, maybe the poor ones, think that when you go in life, like to a special amount of money, to say so, they want to isolate. They want to go. So when I'm financial free, because I asked you previously, when I'm financially free, I want to go to stay all my life in Bali at the sunset with my laptop on my knees. I want to trade. I want to make millions. So I want to have my private jet. Like, but I think what they don't understand is, like, as a man, especially as a man, you are a provider. Like, you need to do something to fulfill you. You can't stay all day long at the beach. I don't know. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you always need something, not only as a man. I think this is like true also for everybody, also for women. You need something to strive for. Let's say if you have like 100 million on your account. So what are you going to, and you don't have any hobbies. So what's the purpose of life then? What? I mean, yeah, staying at the beach all day. Okay, maybe that's fun for a week or two, or maybe a month or two. But after that, what then? You know, you need something that challenges you, in my opinion, that keeps you ongoing. I also think this is the reason why a lot of people that are really, really rich turn to philanthropy and start building schools or start funding research projects and bringing themselves in, because you need to be busy. I mean, you cannot stay on the beach all day and play golf or whatever. For sure, that's fun for a period of time, but after that, it slowly gets boring, in my opinion.
So do you think, like, when you have more, you have the temptation to say so, to give more?
Yeah, for sure. I also think this is why we see initiatives like from, for example, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, that they pledge to give away large portions of their wealth. They have billions of US dollars and they pledge to give that away because they feel obliged to return something to society.
Wow, because the society embrace so good their products.
Maybe that's the reason, or maybe they just feel like, okay, I'm in a position now that I can do something good. Of course, that's very philosophical, you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not in the position where I can give away billions.
Yeah, some philosophy, once upon a time, I think is good, because the philosophy provokes our mind, provokes our thoughts to be better. If we don't have a little bit of philosophy, we may live a superficial life.
I think that is a very wise thing you said just now there.
Yeah. You're the wiser here. I'm just asking the question.
No, I'm just a servant who is good at one thing, and that is trading.
Thank you for all these deep answers. For me, I speak for myself. It was very helpful, very nice ones. Maybe I will listen again once the record, because it's very nice. So regarding to get in the economy, straight in the economy, regarding about those moments in the market, along the macro market, what do you think, in what position is humanity right now? What should we do in the what the capital markets and also the crypto, which are straight correlated to the capital markets, are doing in this moments? What should we expect? All we heard is recession. JP Morgan talks about this. I don't know, maybe also BlackRock, the big investment funds, talks about this. Everyone talks about this. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think maybe I can share my screen. Is that possible?
Yeah, it is.
So I can, you know, it's always better showing some stuff than just talking about them. And
when you go down, you will see your screen.
Here we go. I think people probably can click on it now, no? And see what I'm saying. So let me put up front maybe that I think.
Just a second there.
Yeah.
I don't see your screen, and I want to see it. So Okay. Harry, did you see?
Yes.
Their screen?
Yeah, you just have to press watch stream. So there is something on in the group. It says watch stream. You have to click it, and then the share screen will start.
Oh, thank you, Dirk. So there we have it.
All right. So let me maybe start here by saying I think we are in a very special time right now in 2023, because we've seen developments in the economy that we haven't seen for quite a long time. What do I mean by this? My go-to chart of 2022, one that I used over and over again in my live streams, in my YouTube videos, in cooperations that I did with other people like this, was this one, which compares the inflation rate of the US economy to the development of the S&P 500, so the probably most important stock index in the world, hosting the 500 largest publicly trading companies in the USA. And one thing I noticed there, and this chart goes all the way back to 1913, by the way, here. And one thing I noticed is every time the inflation rate, which is the yellow line here, goes above 6%, and then comes back. You can see, and I marked those events here with those red lines. We sooner or later have seen the bottom of a stock market. And this was, for example, if we go all the way back here to 1994, true. And if you go forward and always mark those things, they are always true. With one exception, but which would have been in 2008, but the inflation rate didn't go above 2008 there. And I said in August of 2022 already, again, this is like my go-to chart to kind of time my investment in so-called risk-on assets. So risk-on assets are assets that are always taken, always invested in when market participants are willing to take more risk, which is typically stocks, which is nowadays also typically cryptocurrencies. The relationship between stocks and cryptocurrencies we can have a look on later, of course, as well. And what I saw is, let me zoom in here a little bit, when we saw the inflation rate here finally now coming down in 2021, and the first time really was here in July, August 2022, that the stock market also started bottoming out. Now a lot of people are saying, yeah, Dirk, but we are entering recession. Yeah, probably we are. We are entering a recession because the central banks are going to raise the interest rates to a level that is above the inflation rate, and that usually leads to unemployment rates rising. People cannot consume so much, not so much goods are produced anymore, so we are going to have somewhat of a recession. But be aware that the stock market is not trading the current economic environment. The stock market is always trading the economic environment that is to come. So the prices we see now on the stock markets are kind of a forecast 6 to 12 months into the future. This is why I believe that we kind of have seen maybe already the bottom on the stock market, and seeing the bottom on the stock market also automatically would mean that we've already seen probably the bottoms when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Let me see.
Wow.
This one.
Now, I didn't expect it.
Now, don't get me wrong here. When I say we've seen the bottom in cryptocurrencies, yes, it could be still possible that, for example, Bitcoin falls to 14,000 or 12,000 or 10,000. That can be in a freak event, you know. But if we compare what the market is doing now to what it has done historically, the area of the bottom should be somewhere around here. You can always compensate that. You don't try to time the bottom. It's impossible. And nobody really knows like the bottom is going to be at that exact point. But if you, for example, invest a little bit of money every month into, let's say, for example, Bitcoin, then it doesn't really matter for you. If it's going lower, well, then you're going to buy a little bit more that month or week whenever you have some spare change. If it goes higher, well, then you invested already a little bit. However, what I want you to notice here on this chart is once the bear market started kicking in, and it started kicking in almost at the same time, you know, in the stock markets and cryptocurrency markets. So the orange one here is the S&P 500, blue one is Bitcoin. See how Bitcoin almost identically behaved to the stock market. So it's very, in a bear market at least, very, very closely correlated to the stock market. And because investors out there perceive it as a so-called risk-on asset. Risk-on asset give you the potential of more returns in return for having a higher risk. And so if we look now at Bitcoin, what can we expect for 2023? That's probably something everybody wants to know. And for that, I like to look at how Bitcoin behaved prior to the last halvings. You know, we have every 4 years. I don't need to tell that your students. Every 4 years we have this halving event. The next one coming up in 2024, probably late March, early April 2024, where the supply every 10 minutes of Bitcoin is cut in half. And we can have a look at what happened prior to those events in the past. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And for that, I looked in the past 18 months prior to the halvings of 2020 and 2016. I cut out here 2012 because back then Bitcoin was still a very, very young asset. There were not many exchanges out there. There was not a lot of trading volume. So this is always going to obscure the data a little bit. But however, what I see there is a clear trend. We have after a cycle peak, we always see the 18 months prior to a halving. So this is a monthly chart, obviously. So 18 bars prior to the halving, that we have somewhat of a period where the price first moves sideways, a little bit up. Sometimes it moves down first, up here again, and then sideways. But somehow the price is going to settle at a higher price than it was 18 months prior. And I expect that we are going to see Bitcoin around 40 to 58,000 US dollars at the time of a halving in 2024. And I know this is, especially this number 58,000, is not far from the all-time high we've seen at 69,000 US dollars, but bear in mind that the specialty about this bear market or this crypto cycle was that first of all we had COVID there, with a special situation worldwide in terms of economy, and second of all we had scam exchanges like FTX out there, or weird tokens like Luna, who sold Bitcoins not as physical Bitcoins, but as IOUs. So the demand going into the market was misdirected. This was, in my opinion, the demand that we missed out on really reaching 100,000 on the last cycle in 2021. So what I'm expecting now going forward is maybe we are going to see first kind of a boring phase, where the market goes a little bit up and down. Maybe it even goes a little bit high again when everybody is going to go crazy again. Wow, the bear market is over. There's a new bull market when prices are going to plunge again. But we should, the closer we get to the halving of 2024, we should see prices somewhere settle around this area of 40 to 58,000 US dollars. That, of course, can only be true if there's not another black swan event awaiting us around the corner. You know, I'm thinking about a war in the EU escalating, the war between Russia and Ukraine escalating, dragging other countries in, or China attacking Taiwan, or I don't know, something we haven't thought about it. Nobody expecting a pandemic. I don't know, maybe in 2023 the black swan event is going to be aliens landing on the Earth invading us. Just kidding now, of course.
Yeah, that's a very high quality analyze, Dirk. Like I'm wondering, like you expect until we reach the halving of 2024, like you told us like you expect Bitcoin around 40K and 15K, right? So I'm assuming that also the altcoins should get straight to the Bitcoin, like maybe the Ethereum or Solana, should they stay close, like maybe to expand more in
this is like the one missing ingredient, in my opinion, to really initialize a new bull market. Usually what we've seen in the past is that prior to Bitcoin bull markets or crypto bull markets, which are always initiated by Bitcoin, of course, altcoins usually follow later then, or the majority of altcoins, that with the Bitcoin dominance, so the share of market capitalization that Bitcoin has went to above 50%. So ideally what I would like to see now this year is that this slowly climbs to 46 to 50% in order to reinsure myself. I know like what is different about this cycle is that a lot of what in last cycles went into Bitcoin is going into stable coins now. So people are parking their money in US dollar, in Tether, for example, or US dollar coin, and instead of Bitcoin. So this is a missing ingredient, but I would be surprised if we not see the Bitcoin dominance rising, and then at some point, maybe in late 2023, early 2024, first, second quarter 2024, maybe this will tip, and then we have those crazy altcoin stories again. What altcoin this is going to be is of course very hard to say. If I compare what was in the top 20 or 30 or 50 of the coin market cap in 2018 or 2019, we have 2023 now, and what do we have now? So a lot of the coins you saw back then in the top 10, they are almost non-existing nowadays anymore. I'm looking here at Bitcoin Cash, for example, and EOS, and you know what the names was, and this is going to happen too. So my advice here would be, I mean, that was a total scam. BitConnect, like also, that was a top 5 cryptocurrencies, BitConnect, and turned out to be a total scam. Hey, exactly. And now we laugh about it. I mean, a lot of people lost a lot of money with that. It's going to happen again. So my advice really is to be on the more sure side here. Stick to Bitcoin. You're not going to find the second Bitcoin. It's impossible. I mean, come on. Bitcoin is the by far largest decentralized network there is out there. No other coin is going to copy that. It's just not going to happen. Maybe Ethereum, as an alternative. But if I look at something, because you mentioned it just now, like Solana, for example, do I want to be invested in a coin where the developers can turn off the network? That's really for me the question, And I mean, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, as you can hear from my line of argument now. But I might be wrong, and for sure I've been missing out on a lot of altcoins. But be careful with altcoins. Nobody's saying like if you want to put like 5% of your net worth into altcoins, in the hopes to find the next one that's going to rise thousands of percent or hundreds of thousands of percent. I mean, go for it, really, but don't double down and put everything on a coin like, I don't know, Solana or whatever the altcoin is.
Yeah, wow. But I think to be a Bitcoin maxi is also to be a good, I don't know how to say it, but to be a good manager for your funds, maybe, because like I have a question. It is in my head for a couple of weeks. Like, do you think the Bitcoin is the people's money?
Yeah, I mean it is, because it teaches you also self-custody over your money. You are responsible for your own money. You cannot rely on, if I forget the PIN to my account, the bank is going to help me out. If I forget the PIN to the PIN, so the seed phrase for my Bitcoin wallet, my money is gone. Of course, it puts more weight on our shoulders, and that's not for everybody. And I'm sure there are going to be solutions for this that make it easier to do this in the future. But yeah, I mean, I get like, I take myself now as an example with PRIMEXBT. Of course, I'm doing this education not free for PRIMEXBT. So they pay me something on a monthly basis for that. And I get paid by them in Bitcoin. And why do I do this? Because it's free. And I mean, it's easy to process. They send it to me 10 minutes later. It's on my wallet. I can choose what I do with it. Do I want to convert it to euro or US dollar? Do I put it in my cold storage? If I would do the same in US dollar, there are always a lot of banks in between that want to have a share in terms of fees.
They want to control your money, and like they use your money also.
They do, yeah. They use my money, multiples of my money, to lend it out to other people.
Yeah. But that's how the banks works. So before we get into PRIMEXBT, like I'm wondering, do you think that people should that more people should buy Bitcoin in the next decade, to say so, along this journey? And not let the institutional entities to have like more Bitcoin? Do you think people should buy more Bitcoin, like normal people, to be fully decentralized? Like if that's people's money, like people should have some Bitcoin if you can afford one, but you need to have, because I think in the next, I don't know, 5 decades, you won't be able to have like a small piece from one Bitcoin, a small piece, and the Bitcoin should be the new digital gold, the new money that we are use. So it's my question is, like, it's dangerous for us, the people, to let Bitcoin for the institutionals.
Luckily, there are enough Bitcoin for everybody out there, and it's not. You don't need to earn to own one Bitcoin. It's luckily divided into sats as well. And at one point, probably it's going to be like, wow, you are owning 100,000 sats. Oh, that's amazing! You are so lucky that you bought early. But to answer your question, if you say to yourself, I want to ensure that no third party has access to my funds. I want to ensure that no government can come and say something like, we have a crisis right now. We are going to confiscate everything you have on your account because we needed to build up our country again. I'm looking at Greece here in 2008, obviously.
Wow.
And
nice.
And if your answer to this is yes, there is, in my opinion, absolutely no way around Bitcoin. There is no alternative to it. There's no alternative where you can have a store of value, a volatile, given that store of value, of course, still at the moment, where you are in control of whatever you want to do with that money, and where nobody out there can choose for you what is done with your money. So if your answer to that is yes, then there's no way around Bitcoin. Given one of the challenges, in my opinion, that we are hopefully going to tackle in the next 4 years to come is to make this more approachable, this whole theme. Like if I tell my father, Papa, you know, I'm investing in Bitcoin. So the first hurdle is always explaining, okay, what is that? And maybe he understands what that is. Okay, how do I do my daily shopping with it? How do I store my value in it? And this is where he checks out normally. So the UIs out there, the ease of usage, the ease of storing it also in a secure way, for sure they need to be improved. And I think this whoever figures that out in the next couple of years is going to gain a lot of share of the retail market out there. The institutionals are always going to be there, by the way. They also earn like 98% of the fiat market. It's not in the hands of us retail consumers. It's in the hand of banks and institutional investors.
Yeah, because they have more funds to use it.
Exactly, yeah. And this is the way it is, you know, but at least I can control with Bitcoin what is done with my funds.
Harry, do you have some questions for Dirk?
I have been very carefully listening to his answers. What I wanted to ask you, Dirk, is how do you plan a trade? I mean, like, what confirmations do you wait before taking a trade? And are you only looking, for example, on the crypto side, or are you also trying to get as many confirmations as you can? For example, are you also watching the stock market before the crypto market? If you understand what I'm trying to get you to answer.
I think I understand it. So let me put maybe first here. I'm more of a fundamental trader. So okay. I'm not your typical trader, you know, that has like numerous technical indicators out there and then chooses to invest or not, or uses signals. This is a small portion of my trading. I do this as well, but it only makes up a small portion. What I do usually is I go top down. So I have my general hypothesis, which, for example, at the moment is I think this environment right now, long term, is positive for stock markets. Then I'm going into the charts. Then I'm going to look at, okay, where are areas for the stock market that would be worthwhile buying when the stock market comes down again. And I said, for example, in let me see if I can share this still. I don't know if I have it still on. I do it here. So in August back then, when we reached the high here in the stock market, I said, you know, I believe that we are going up again, but for a number of reasons, one of them being an election pattern that I identified is I think the stock market is going down further, and probably our landing zone is somewhere here between 3,400 and 3,600 points. And I mean, I'm very proud. I kind of nailed that zone actually as the low, at least for the moment. So I'm going to set points here where I plan on investing. Then the important thing comes. I need to make up my mind when I'm wrong about what I'm doing. And this can be a number of things. This can be changing economic numbers. This can be if I'm trading on a lower time frame, but obviously I'm also using technical indicators. This can be a change in indicators. And this is also one of the most difficult parts of trading, because everybody has a different approach about risk. You know, I might say like, okay, I don't want to risk more than 1%, and I'm going to close the trade. Other people are going to be like, you know, I'm going to scale slowly into the market. I'm going to scale slowly out of the market. This is why it's so difficult, in my opinion, also to follow people one-on-one with their trading. You know, the gurus that are out there, for example. So I try to look for trades that support my macro hypothesis, which at the moment is we are probably going to see rising risk on assets again, rising stock markets, rising cryptocurrencies. However, it could be a lot of up and down in the first 2 to 3 quarters of 2023.
Do you reckon this descending trend line, which by the way, your chart, your S&P 500 chart look exactly like mine? Do you reckon this yellow trend line will get like broken anytime soon?
I don't know. This is the thing. And this is, you know, where why I think technical analysis is great. You know, to identify trends. Like you just said, hey, my chart looks exactly the same. I identified this downtrend, but fundamental facts are always going to outweigh technical facts. And I think one of those events we are going to see tomorrow with the release of the US inflation data, which I think is going to cause insane volatility. Especially if the number is coming out differently than than the market is expecting. So we are expecting or the market is expecting a quite large decrease in inflation to 6.5% from 7.1%, and the core inflation going down to 5.7%. And if the market here is disappointed, then for sure we are not even going to reach this trend line up there. We are going to immediately going to be rejected and going down. The interesting thing is now, of course, if the numbers come out better than expected, then we could have an event, in my opinion, where we see the market breaking out. And then the interesting thing is going to be, and this is a good trade, in my opinion, you know, when the market, then it usually will pull back. It's not like a straight arrow up. Usually we see something like pulling back, testing this trend line again. And if you are then there with a buy order and with a stop loss like slightly just below that, this is an awesome trade in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
But don't if it really goes like this and you know and the trade doesn't work out, don't be mad at me. It's always a game of chance, obviously.
Yeah, of course, it's a game of chances, and you have to limit the risk reward. So,
but you know, you get what I mean. I think you know the risk reward is very nice in this situation, man.
That's always what I'm telling here in the university, that I'm always trying to get 1 to 3, maybe at least 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5 at least risk reward.
Yeah.
Because even if you're going to be right in less than half of the time, so even if you're right only 40% of the time, using a 1 to 2.5 risk reward, you're going to be profitable at the end of the, let's say, a time period, you know.
And isn't that amazing? I mean, you can even if you are worse than a coin flip, you still can be profitable.
Of course.
I mean, tell me what other profession is out there where this is possible, really.
But you know, the bad thing is that theory is easier. It's easier said than done, you know.
Yeah, because there's our emotions, you know, and this is also, you know, tying back to discipline. You have to wait for trades like this, and
you have to be like a sniper.
Yeah, you have to be like a sniper, yeah, and like my system here, sniper signal generator, and it's you know, if you trade less, you're probably going to be more profitable. You know, wait for those chances. Yes. Actually, I still remember this up to this day now. Back then, when we entered the bear market for internet stocks, like my mentor back then at the bank said to me, Dirk, if you are a trader and you're not bored like 90% of the day, you're doing something wrong. And this is absolutely true, you know. It's like, wait for this one perfect setup and then trade it. And you gotta be there. I
totally agree with you, yeah. Yeah, I totally agree.
I want to hear from you, Dirk. So are you identify more as a swing, daily, or a position trader?
That's hard to answer. I am a position trader because I have very long-term positioning, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies. But I try to stick to swing trades So I've like this, you are seeing here I mean, this is a daily chart, so it's like not so great. Let's zoom out here a little bit. You are seeing here the buy and sell signals. This is from a swing trading system that I use on an hourly time frame. This is a daily one. But for me, it's really, I feel more comfortable the less trades I do. So I try to stay away from those 1 and 5 minute time frames, for example.
Okay, that's good to notice.
Because it's also a lot of stress, I mean, you always have to earn the spread and the fees, and it's like, I get why people find it attractive, because it's again this gamifying thing, clickety click action. But but then again, like I said, trading is a business. It's not a computer game.
Yeah. Wow. I found this discussion like a lot of value. So I guess a lot of people pays a lot of money for those information. So like to have you here is like more than a blessing. So we are deeply thank you to say so.
No. I mean, the pleasure is really on my side. For me, I'm happy for everybody who wants to listen to my monologues. Sorry, and if you want to take away a thing or two from what I've told here tonight, then my mission is accomplished. That makes me happy. That makes my day, really.
And we want to talk about your input in PRIMEXBT. Like, why do you think this exchange can gain position in the markets among the giants, to say so, in the next years?
I hope they can. I'm not involved, in managerial decisions with PRIMEXBT. I can only see it from the eyes of a user, and for me, as I said in the beginning, I started as a trader at PRIMEXBT. Later, then was approached to build up the academy, and they have never let me down. And I mean, there are so many exchanges out there that have let the users down. I mean, we just need to look at FTX, and nobody, including myself, ever thought this exchange is going down. This is not a guarantee that this cannot happen to other exchanges, of course, as well. But for me, as a user, I've had good experiences, especially when trading cryptocurrencies with PRIMEXBT. They've always processed my withdrawals on time. They always executed my traders in a fair way. I think their fee structure is very, very fair. So this is why I'm putting my head on the table to kind of say, like, okay, this is a good exchange. I recommend this one.
Yeah, and I also have seen the mixed markets. Like we have forex, like we have capital markets, like we have crypto, and I see that they improve a lot. So we need so complex exchange like this, a broker like this, I think.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you want to have a one type stop solution, where you can. When you get a signal in Forex, you can trade it there. When you get a signal in indices or commodities, you can trade it there. When you get a signal in cryptocurrencies, you can trade it there as well. And for most assets out there, PRIMEXBT, I can only repeat myself, has been treating me as a trader very, very good. And this is not an experience I've made with a lot of exchanges, I honestly must say, without mentioning names now, of course.
Yeah. I have also a positive feedback, because I told to my students also and my community that I will never get a partnership with someone that I don't trust. Yeah. Well,
and it is about trust, it's especially when it comes to trading crypto. By the end of the day, it's about trust. We still are not there where we have those awesome setups of decentralized exchanges.
Yeah. that's nice. So do you want to present us something on Prime? Like, Dirk, do you have something in mind that do you think that our students need to know, or to see, or the other people who may watch in my community on YouTube maybe later in a couple of days?
I think maybe just, very quickly, because it's really self-explanatory. If we run through here what you can do on PRIMEXBT, so you have your wallets here where you can deposit your cryptocurrencies that you want to use for trading, for example. You have your margin trading account. They offer margin up to 1 to 200 for cryptocurrencies, up to 1 to 1,000 for Forex. If you really want to use that leverage, and I'm not saying please do that. You can have yield accounts where you can have up to 14% in yield if you want to stake your cryptocurrencies. And I think what's really, really cool also, because this is where I come from as well, is this copy trading module, where we have where we have strategy managers out there who share their strategies, and then people can put some money onto their strategies, and every time the strategy manager closes the trade in profit, if you are following that strategy manager with your money, you'll close the trade in profit as well. And as you can see here, even in this bear market, we have people earning like 4,000% here. So this is really, really exciting. And I think it's also exciting if you ever thought about, how can I get there? How can maybe I don't have a lot of money. I only have like $500 or $1,000, but I'm a good trader, and I want to attract some money. This is the way how you can also build up your track record. If you're a good trader, and even if you're trading just with a little bit of money, just with 500 or $1,000, and you open a copy trading strategy there, and you are trading well, automatically people will begin to follow you. And every time you close a profitable trade, you'll get a share of the profit the people that are following you made. And then automatically you will build up this track record, which also you can then use to attract big money out there, And so I think this is really, really awesome. On top of that, which I also think is really, really cool, there are a lot of contests always going on, where you can use a demo account. You can compete against other people, and then you can win some money, like the first place he gets $500 tokens, for example. So you can try yourself without even needing to risk some of your hard-earned personal money.
Yeah, that's very nice. The contest section, but some of my people in my community on YouTube ask me like, okay, Robert, maybe I can ask you for them because you are more experienced and you have like more time collaborating than me. Like I'm about a couple of months, but people ask me, okay, Robert, but in the copy trading, maybe there are some of them maybe or should be or can be bots or something like this. It is possible.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it's possible, but I mean, this is why you can filter here, no? Of course, you shouldn't maybe be following somebody who has been active copy trading for 1 day and made 4,000%. Maybe you should select something like this. Okay, I only want to see strategies that have been active for more than 90 days. And then you can see like, oh, this one here, okay, has been active for 184 days, is still up 4,000%, or maybe this one here up 367%, active for 207 days. You can really analyze this in detail. And for me, it's, I rather would follow somebody who's building up capital slow and steady and has a rising curve than somebody who's taking crazy risks in terms of leverage and, pushes you in an all-in situation every time with every trade. Yeah, but it's, I mean, you can really, it's something for everybody there by the end of the day. If you want a lot of risk, well, then you'll find something there. If you want, play it a little bit more conservatively, but still earn maybe a bit more than your bank is offering you currently on their saving accounts, then you'll find something there as well. Spend some time researching. Don't just jump, for the strategy that is on top there because it shows like thousands of %. You have to go into the details. But we offer also videos and explanations on how to choose the right strategy there for you.
Yeah, thank you so much for this response, because I think it has a clear answer for all that asking. Okay, that should be some of them are maybe bots or something like this, but that filter was very educative, to say so. So at the, like, we are getting to the end. We have a lot of good information, and I'm wondering, my students, if there are some of you here that wanna ask Doug something. I don't know if you can ask maybe anything regarding about the markets, but please don't ask about shitcoins or something like this. ask a good question that allows us to grow, like think rich, grow rich, Napoleon Hill. Like, okay, none of you, maybe in the messages, maybe they are shy, or maybe that we have fulfill all the areas.
It's okay if you after this call think of something, oh, I should have asked this, please forward your message to Robert and Harry, and then they can send it to me, and of course I'll answer your message. Don't worry about this.
Oh, that's nice. Harry, do you have something more in your mind?
Not really. I think we covered most of the subjects. Also, you asked very good questions. A lot of questions I was also curious about. So, no, if there are no more questions from the also from the members, I think we can call it a wrap.
Yeah, we can call it like a very successful discussion podcast. Name it.
Yeah.
Doug, thank you for your presence, for your professionalism, for your attitude, for your humbleness. I don't know, for yourself. Thank you. I feel very blessed to have you here, and it fulfills me. I'm speaking for myself, and I have learned a lot of things. I'm like SpongeBob. I want to assimilate all my life. I have a motto in front of my life. So you are not dead when you are 2 meters in the ground. You are dead in the moment you have stopped learning.
Very true, yeah. And thanks again for having me, for listening to me here. And I know not everybody's first language is English here, and I still hope that maybe I could, give you some hope that becoming a professional trader, living off trading is possible. It's not just myth and BS that we read on social media. It's really, really possible. And yeah, if you want to do this in the future again, I'll be more than happy to join, of course, again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Doug. Thank you for everything. I don't know. Have a blessed night, and thank you all for this listening. I don't know how to say, subscribe, like, I don't know, all the stuff.